I actually like that better, but let's slow it down even more. The jam room is and has been my favorite place to record.
Kylesa's recorded our first record here in 2001. We've recorded almost all of our material here. The vibe and energy of the jam room is special.
I mean, you can almost feel it when you walk in the door. There's a huge history of just awesome records that have been made here, and there's kind of a nice community that surrounds the studio, which is also really awesome. Jay, the owner, he's been really good to me over the years, and good to Kylesa.
He's very knowledgeable. They're very knowledgeable here. If there's any amp you want to play, they probably have it. We love you, Jay. Okay. So you want me to tune?
I actually like that better, but let's slow it down even more. I do record here exclusively. I know I can guarantee a band a good recording out of here. Musically, I'm pretty open-minded, and really my only criteria that I have for something that I like to work on is if I like the creativity of the band. I generally work with heavy bands. I've been able to find something about every band that I've worked with that I thought was worth my time, and that I felt that I could be a help to. I wouldn't be very interested in working with somebody that their whole concern was making money and trying to be a big popular band or something like that. With Kylesa, it's my personal music, which means a lot to me. So I have to try to keep myself as mellow as I can, even in situations that may make me want to be the opposite. I don't usually have that problem with other bands. I don't have that personal attachment. But luckily with Kylesa, this is the third album I've produced, and we're comfortable at this point. I have no interest in making a bunch of records that have a signature sound. I'd much rather people hear a record and say, wow, this sounds good, rather than somebody hearing a record and go, oh, Philip Cope produced that. I could tell. I just want people to think that a record is good, period. So I'm stringing up some guitars. I have my little stringing rituals on tour as well. I generally, my strings last about 4 shows, or I make them last about 4 shows. You know, I'll do little things like put graphite in the nut and in the saddle to kind of grab the string, stretch them out really good. And I generally like pretty heavy strings, but it depends on the guitar and the tuning. This guitar has some heavy strings on it because I'm going to be tuning it a few steps down. I write a lot more music than I write lyrics. I do both in a very kind of subconscious, stream of consciousness way. I just kind of open the floodgates and let it come out, and then go back and revise and edit. For me, I find the music is a more primal thing than necessarily the lyrics are. The music seems to come almost instinctively. Lyrics, I have to put a lot of thought into them and think about them more.
Can you turn the click on?
Tone is very important to Kylesa's sound, and it's something that we've been experimenting with since the band began, and previous to that even.
Writing a song that we feel is good is the most important, starting point, but we've always been interested in searching for tones that seem at least unusual to us.
There's definitely an art to using effects, because if they're not used properly, they just sound like you threw some effects on something. But if they're used cleverly, they can really add some dimension to your sound.
When we started out, of course, we were restricted by almost no budget, and gear is hard to come by. But, as we go along, we're able, to collect more gear and try new things out.
We've gone through a bunch of amps over the years, a bunch of guitars, a bunch of effects pedals, and it's It's kind of like I'm a kid at a candy store. If there's a lot of effects pedals nearby, they're fun. They're fun.
It's a constant search. It's not one where it's like, okay, we found it. It's okay, we found something we like for now, and what are we going to try next?
Customizing our sound is an ongoing project.
Experimental, to say the least. Sometimes it's effective, and we have customized some things that work really well for us, and sometimes over the past I've tried to customize some things that have not worked so well.
What we do is not fate, or there's not a formula. It is really just an organic growth of ideas that come naturally to us. We all work very well together.
I think we've learned to trust each other's ideas.
When going in the studio, personally, I try to get in the zone, so to speak. I try not to let anything else that might be bothering me in my personal life to come into the studio, other than it coming out emotionally through playing or singing.
While we're in here, it's all about the record.
It's all about the music.